It's the Sumo Show, the podcast that discusses everything that's going on in Japanese Grand Sumo. Whether you've been steeped in sumo lore since the Heisei era, like me, Stan, or you're a dedicated fan who wants to get deeper into what's happening on and off the dohyo, like our friend Troy, or you're brand new to the world of sumo and just want to learn what it's all about, no matter how much you know about the sport, the Sumo Show has something for you. So let's throw some purifying salt into the ring, do a few big Shiko foot stomps, and see what's new on this week's episode of the Sumo Show. So konnichiwa, everyone, and Okayari, welcome back to my co-host Troy.
I am not saying. No, sorry.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you're just taunting me.
I am.
We
Hello,
were
my
having
friend.
a big old Neil Diamond sing along. That's
You
why
were.
we're a couple minutes late.
I'm telling you, it was quite entertaining and distracting.
Well, like Neil Diamond, I'm from Brooklyn, so I got it in me. I've got it
All
in
you
me.
Brooklyn kids.
I've got the diamond,
You
and
walk
I'm
in
on the West Coast.
Yeah,
I
bringing
mean,
a little bit of that. Yeah. Hey, just as a heads up for you and our listeners and watchers, my internet has been real cranky.
Okay. Well,
so if I should vanish, no, I had a great time.
Remember me? It's not you, it's me.
Yeah, it really is me.
It's not me, it's my internet.
Yeah, it sucks. But anyway, so there you go.
Well, that's all right. We're here to talk about the Haru Basho, the Spring Grand Sumo Tournament taking place in Osaka this week.
Indubitably.
And we're going to talk about days 1 to 3. That's what we're planning to do.
I like it.
And we're also, of course, going to talk about how things are going in our Fantasy Oyakata game.
Hello to everybody who's playing along.
Which has 18 people in it this time.
Wait, I thought we had 19.
No, it was one person that instead of changing their changing what they posted a second entry. So I just took out their first entry.
Got you. Okay. Well, that's quite a few people. We're proud of it, and
it is.
We welcome everybody to
a lot. It's almost double our highest number ever, I think.
Yeah,
it might even be.
We're hitting the big time. We're in the teens.
It's right. We're solidly in the double digits.
Tens of people are really
tens of people.
Yeah.
And we have a very interesting days 1 to 3 have been quite interesting.
Oh.
Yeah. There's been a bunch going on. Of course, we've got our brand new Yokozuna, our shiny Shin Yokozuna, Shin meaning new, Shin Yokozuna Hoshoryu, coming in fresh off his promotion, trying to prove his Yokozuna-ness. We have Kotozakura, Ozeki Kotozakura, who, after getting promoted to Ozeki, did okay one tournament and then had a flat-out Makikoshi, and now is Kadoban, which means that if he has less than 8 wins this time, he'll be demoted out of being an Ozeki.
Oof.
And he's, I tell you what, he's the reason was he had a kind of a knee issue that no one was being very talkative about. And it only became clear towards the end of the tournament last time. He started wrapping his knee in bandages. Now, his knee's definitely wrapped now, and he sure looks like it's not over it.
Oh, boy.
Not fully.
I hate it when they do that. I really do.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to lose that Ozeki rank.
Yeah.
And of course, we've got Ozeki Onosato, who, after being promoted to Ozeki, is he had just kind of a so-so tournament last time, and he's looking to bounce back and do really well. He had been the person that I thought was going to get promoted to Yokozuna first in this big race towards it. Hoshoryu got it first, and good for him. But I still think that when I weigh things out, I think that Onosato is the stronger of the two of them, and I think that will be proved out over the course of this year and beyond. Not that Hoshoryu is weak by any means, but I think that Onosato is our force to be reckoned with in the short to medium term. And we'll find out, right? That's what this tournament. That's one of those things that this tournament is gonna look. He may, on the other hand, last time's poor performance might show that he's got some weaknesses that we hadn't seen before, and he's gonna have to learn on the job like all the rest of us, all the rest of the Rikishi. Yeah. So maybe we should just dive right in.
Why don't you? Yeah, let's do it.
So we're gonna look at we're using the Grand Sumo app to look at the results, the Todokumi results, which is just the whole day listing with who fought who. This has a red light on the side of who won the match and the winning technique in the middle. And we're on day one. So I took notes this time.
Nice.
So let's see. This, one of the things about day one, day one's was some really good sumo. Like we often see day one being a little kind of everyone getting a slow start and little pedestrian sumo. Sounds a little snooty of me to say that, but
a little bit, yeah.
Very often day one is just kind of pro forma sumo, and people don't always seem like they're up for it. This day one was a lot of really good matches, and interestingly, a lot of good matches that were over a minute long. Not the kind where they're just leaning on each other, but really active 1 minute matches. It was really very exciting. So we're looking here at what's going on. Shirokuma there, the lost his matches back from Juryo. That Shirokuma means white bear. Popular guy who everyone wants to do well, and last time he was up in the top division, he didn't. Well, he lost his first match back. Takayumi also lost his first match. We're worried about him because he did so terribly last time. And basically, last tournament, he looked. If he managed to get a good tachi and driving forward, he looked okay for about 15 seconds. But if he didn't finish his opponent off, which happened most of the time, and they forced him at all to have to hold his ground, or even worse, take even a step backwards, he was just done. So that did not look good. We have, I think we talked about before, we've got 2 Ukrainian rikshis.
Yeah.
We got the Shishi is back up, and Aonishiki. They both lost on day one.
Yeah.
Which was a shame. But they didn't look bad losing. They both looked tough and in it. Aonishiki drove Churanumi around before he got flipped over, and Shishi Ryuden's just they're both really big guys, and I think that Shishi has had a career that he has survived a lot on just being bigger than everyone else, and he gets to the top division, and that's just not as true.
A little bit more difficult than he. Yeah.
He has to be better tactically. He has to be better just in his execution, and he's just not as sharp. People often say that he looks like he's lumbering, right? He's a big kind of lumbering guy. And the people who are big enough to withstand that and skilled enough to turn it against him, that's why he didn't hang out long in the top division last time. So that's going on. I'm looking at my notes again. Midori Fuji is, the name Midori Fuji means green Mount Fuji. And he was well known for wearing that green mawashi, that kind of emerald green forest green mawashi. But last tournament, he was having a bad tournament, and for the last 5 days, he switched it to a red mawashi, And I expected him to come back and go back to his green Mawashi for this tournament, but he's not. He's still
Yeah.
fighting in the red Mawashi.
I remember we talked about that.
Yeah.
He's kind of trying to shake off some bad vibes.
Yeah. Also, I mean, similarly, Kotozakura last tournament when he was doing so badly did the same thing. He was known for wearing that kind of baby blue Mawashi, and he went back to wearing a basic black, and he's still wearing the basic black for this tournament.
Maybe not working in his favor, at least for day one, right?
Well, I mean, day one, no. Yeah. He we'll get when we scroll up a bit, we'll see that. But what do we got going on here? Toby's Atami Fuji and Haku Oho there in the middle. We'll see both of them won their first matches.
Happy to see Atami Fuji winning that one.
Shodai lost to Takeru Fuji.
Color me shocked.
I don't want to say we're happy to see that, but
no,
I'm happy to see Takeru Fuji because I think, but expectedly, Shodai kind of phoned that one in.
Yeah.
Kim Bozan lost. This is another guy that everyone has wanted to be really good, and he seems to be resisting it.
Yeah, did we talk about this during our Sunday meeting, Kim Bozan and sort of the hope and I think it was Sunday. Yeah, it wasn't on the air, but he didn't quite get it done.
No. Uda beat Ichi Yamamoto. That Uda's had a bunch of fun matches.
Yeah, he has.
Takayasu beat Takanosho. Looking pretty good again. Takayasu, maybe every tournament it's like maybe this is his tournament. And fingers crossed, nothing goes wrong with Papa Bear. Kirishima beat Tobizaru. I was a little surprised by that one.
Yeah.
I really expected Tobizaru to beat him. Kirishima hung tough and looked more healthy than I had expected based on everything that happened to him last week. For those of you that didn't watch our Friday show, Kirishima has had a recurrence of his neck injury, which is what lost him his Ozeki ship. And then he was looking pretty good. And then on the last day of training, he hurt his hip so badly he almost had to go to the hospital. And by some accounts, probably should have gone to the hospital. So I really kind of expected him to come out here hobbling. And he didn't look that way, which, is good. I might have picked him if I thought he was going to look that good.
Right.
He had been on my list. Gonoyama beat Daisho. That was a big one.
Yeah.
Gonoyama looking strong.
A lot of pushing, shoving. I have down as a note.
There was a lot of pushing and shoving.
Happens a lot in the sumo.
Especially with those two, right? Both of them are very much pusher shovers. And,
yeah.
And they mix it up pretty good. And then Kotozakura just couldn't handle Wakamoto Haru, which is a little weird. Like Wakamoto Haru is good. He hasn't been great recently, but Kotozakura shouldn't have trouble handling him, and he really did. That was kind of strange. Onosato, I'll tell you what I really liked about the Onosato Wakataka Kage matches.
Yeah.
Onosato was really patient. Wakataka Kage came in strong and was trying to get a belt grip and throw him, and kind of had a good angle on him. But Onosato stayed calm and stayed patient and centered his gravity and just kept following him around, stuck really close to him. And
And I love that. I mean, the tension of a sumo wrestler on, just pushed up against the straw.
Yeah. And then, I mean, it's so great if you watch that match again and watch the replay. Uh, Onosato is sticking with him, and then in one of the sticking with him, he manages to get his left leg behind Wakataka Kage, leaving him no way to just dance out of it. Wakataka Kage was dancing to his left and just kept going and leading on, and Onosato was keeping up with him. And there was one time he stayed close enough that in his adjustment, he got his leg hooked behind Wakataka Kage, and there was just nowhere for him to go except to hop out of the ring. So it was a good patient win against a tough opponent. And then the biggest surprise of all,
I mean, come on.
Abi just blew Hoshoryu away at the Tachiai.
Just yeah.
It was it was surprising. I certainly, my concerns, I've voiced them enough for you to know, right? My concerns are that Hoshoryu is going to lose 2 or 3 matches here in week 1, and matches he shouldn't lose. But I didn't expect him to come out. He seemed to come out with that big regal bearing, but his Tachiai was not a quick, sharp Tachiai, and Abi came off the blocks like a house on fire.
Yeah.
And really just blew him away. And
just choked him. Yeah.
Like he came up with a long reach up around the nodo. He didn't actually get his throat, but he forced his head back and forced him backwards, and it was like a 2.5 second 3-step match. He just barreled him out of the ring.
I was surprised, and I was also, not an auspicious opening to your career as that guy. Yeah,
that's not how you want your first match as a Yokozuna to go.
But
but that is how it went.
That is how it went. Yeah.
It's for sure how it went. There's a sumo you want and the sumo you got.
That's right. And you got to go to the sumo show with the sumo you got.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's how things went on day 1. I really miss having
I do too.
Nato's daily.
You're reading my mind with all the breakdowns and the how many times they fought and the whole thing. It is a little bit on the yeah.
But so that's how we go. Day 1. But as I always say, the first 3 days, even everything at the end of this show, we'll still have, it's only the first 3 days. No one should be panicking. But here at the end of day 1, I was a little disappointed to see that 2 of our 3 champion level guys lost on day 1.
Yeah.
And one of them was the Yokozuna.
There's just no way for you to take that any other way than just yeah.
But like I say, I did walk away from day 1 thinking how good the sumo was overall. I was really impressed with the day 1 matches. So let's go on and look at day 2.
Yeah.
Shall we?
Let's do.
All right. So on day 2, Mitakaumi gets a win. Oh, Nishiki Fuji. Sorry, I don't get them confused. But when I'm trying to say them, when I say the
mouth makes it. Yeah.
Nishiki Fuji went Kyujo on day 2. He tweaked his neck a little. His Oyakata says he may be back before the end of the tournament, but he on day 1, I believe he lost, and on day 2 he pulled out. So Ryuden gets a Fusen win, a walkover win. But Mitakaumi had a good match on day 2. He did just what I was saying before. He had a good Tachi-ai. He drove forward and didn't have to move backwards, and so he won. Shishi gets a win. Aonishiki still doesn't. He still hasn't had a win here. Still looking for his first win in the top division. Midori Fuji loses against Onokatsu. On day one, Midori Fuji. Let me go back to day one for a second. Who was he fought? Midori Fuji was
Shonanomi.
Naomi, and he got one of his good shoulder rolls. Where he is as a small wrestler, coming up against Shona Naomi, who's one of the biggest guys in the division. You always worry about that, but he managed to get in, and he often gets that I can't remember the name of the Kimarite now, but where he grabs him with one hand under the shoulder and pulls him forward and rolls him. He just had a textbook version of that on day one. Not so much on day two.
Yeah. Yeah.
Onokatsu was ready for that and just smothered him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hakuoho was looking good against Nishikigi. And in fact, looking really strong. We've been waiting for him. He's of course in his comeback from that shoulder injury a year and a half ago, and he's come back and when he first came up, he blew his way to the top of the division, had that shoulder injury, and disappeared in the night. And he's come back, and he hasn't been as dominant as he was first time up, but he's still looking strong. He gets his second win there on day two. Atami Fuji does not. Endo beat him in a match that had a mono-e, where it looked like Tommy Fuji was going to win, and his arm landed first. Everyone, the announcers really kind of seemed to think that there was going to be a Tori Naoshi, a do-over, but it was very, very close. It was super close, but it was absolutely clear his hand did land first.
Was that a bad call by the Gyoji, or did they call
it? No, it was. I mean, it was the Gyoji did call it for Atami Fuji.
Yeah.
But it was, you had to be in a very specific angle to see that his hand landed first. It sure looked like Endo went out first, and he was on his way out. That's why the announcers seemed to think that it was going to be a Fusensho or a Tori Naoshi, because all right, yeah, Tommy Fuji's hand landed first, but they were both. But he instigated all that, and Endo just kind of got a fraction of a second lucky in the timing of it.
Right.
But it was clear that he did land first, so it's kind of hard to argue technically with the if you're going to go by just if you're not going to do the fudging, which we always get unhappy when they do fudging for something we don't want.
Yeah.
So I looked at that and I was like, all right, well, I really kind of wish they'd said do it over, because
yeah. Well, the other thing is, is there anything that tips the balance to say he didn't? I mean, we've seen it in the past, right? Where it looked like they won, or so one guy won, and they said, no, not you didn't win it hard enough.
They sure could have, but if you were a big time Endo rooter, you'd be furious about that, because the tape is clear. Endo's foot landed second.
Got it.
If you're an Atami Fuji fan, you're like, "But you've done it before. Why can't you fudge it now?"
That's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, it has a direct correlation to my interests.
Yeah, that's right. I want this to happen.
That's right. Funny.
So yeah, I find it difficult to argue that the decision was incorrect, but I would have rather seen a Tori Naoshi.
Yeah. Yep.
Um,
Same.
I bet.
You
We
know,
know who's got who on what team.
right? Yeah,
Um,
exactly. All that coming to light here, friends, at the end of our program. So stay tuned. But can I say something real quick, and you can check me if I'm
yeah,
being weird or wrong. Uh, I'm I'm feeling badly for Shananomi,
you're feeling
not just
bad
because I can't say his name,
because you can't say his name.
but also like he should be doing better. Shouldn't he?
He's one of those. He's stumbled for the last 6 months or so, and it's
Yeah,
unclear what it is. He just hasn't.
it
He
just
kind of lost his
feels.
mojo.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. And I also feel badly for the Ukrainians.
Yeah,
Uh, I feel like yeah, talk about a not very auspicious start to
yeah. Well, that's what happens.
that's
I
what
think
happened.
I feel bad for Kinbozan,
Mm,
and he's someone that everyone was super hot on for a while, and he seems to have really good skills. I just don't. He, I think he's in his own head. I think it's all a head problem.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and he did great last tournament, right? And it seemed like the hope is that he's going to do that again. But of course, this is at a higher rank now, and that always gets in your head a little.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah.
say, it's no matter what. This is only days 1 to 3. This is not going to decide anyone's tournament.
That's right. That's
Uh,
right. But the entertainment lies
yeah,
in the what ifs and why not and how
yeah.
dare. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Let's see other matches on day 2 that Uda lost to Takayasu, and
Hmm.
he got he got rolled out of the
Right
off the
into the
dojo.
someone's
Yeah,
lap. Yeah,
he
or
got
someone's.
smacked around and rolled right into Ichi Yamamoto's lap.
Yeah, yeah. There's a bowling sort of.
Yeah, yeah. No, he did a 10-point somersault.
Yeah, yeah,
It was, and he landed on his feet. It was with that Ura look on his face. It you could look at that and say they set that up. It
yeah,
really looked like
yeah,
that.
yeah. That Ura, he's something else.
But uh, Takayasu looked really good again. And then Tobizaru lost
I
to
know.
Abi, and Abi, he had him on the edge, and Abi just made a nice little move and arm tug, and spun out of the way, and Tobizaru suddenly is going out into the crowd on his belly.
Like, yeah, yeah. Like, it sort of looked like one of those moments you would see on, like a Looney Tunes, where
Yeah,
where Bugs Bunny has the cape and they,
right.
yeah, and he just moves the
On the
cape out of
Looney
the way
Tunes,
and
you'd expect there to be an anvil behind where Abi
yeah,
had been standing, and Tobizaru would just slam right into it.
right, yeah, yeah. No, it was that was quite spectacular to see.
Um, and in our amongst our champion level here, Onosato beat Kirishima and beat him beat him handily. I mean, he really handled Kirishima, um, which is good for Onosato. Not so good for Kirishima, but Kirishima didn't look hurt. He just looked like he was out sumoed.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and
And he's lost every time to Kirishima, right?
hmm?
Oh, he's has he
I
he's
think not. Yes, I think that he had either only beaten him once or he'd never beaten him.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Um, no, I mean no.
Opposite
Onosato had beaten Kirishima.
always.
All yeah.
That's what I mean. That's what I meant.
But I mean those are those records that are kind of weird because Onosato came up into the division while Kirishima was in his year of can't turn my head right his
Yeah.
year of neck problems.
Right. Yeah,
So
that's right. That's right. Yeah.
there are times when you look at those records and and you have to think about when did those wins happen, right? They've only fought 4 times and he's won them all. Well, the last 4 matches Kirishima has been struggling physically. So it's not like a healthy Kirishima and a healthy Onosato have ever fought.
Yeah.
So what'll happen then? Well, if it's anything like this time, because Kirishima was looking pretty healthy, Onosato ate him for breakfast. Kotozakura was fighting Gonoyama, who he had never lost to. And so there's a bunch of people who were saying this is a big test, right? If Kotozakura can't win this one, well, he may be in big trouble. And he did. He won pretty handily.
Yeah.
Which only proves he's not in desperate trouble.
Not
because
quite at the end of his rope.
Because he really does have Gonoyama's number.
Yeah.
And Hoshoryu came back from his day one loss and beat Wakatakakage. And he did it quickly. In fact, it looked like a statement win. It looked like he was coming out to say to everyone, look, day one doesn't matter.
Settle down, everybody. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And especially when you think about they'd fought 13 times before, and Wakatakakage led in their previous meetings 8-5.
I've got to watch these, in betwixt or even during meetings, when I'm doing work and stuff. And there's a couple times where, and it's always mesmerizing for me because we used to watch the matches with no sound, and it's like an immersive experience for me. But I will say that I had to pause it this particular bout right at the beginning, and it looked not good for Hoshoryu. And I was just like, this is only a few seconds more. I got to watch it, but I couldn't. Because he pulled it out. But it seemed to me that the Tachiai looked a little shaky.
Well, maybe. Yeah, I mean, but it didn't stay shaky at all. I mean, it was a fast match, and he threw him to the ground.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So, yeah, that's so.
He looked good. Hoshoryu looked good.
He did. He comes back. Both he and Kotozakura come back from their day one losses and get in the winning way. And so we move on to day 3.
Well, things get a little hazier here for me around day 3.
Things get hazier as in you didn't watch the match.
No, I didn't. I did not. No, I did
All right.
not.
Well, I've got a few of these matches that I've got notes on you should watch for. So Shishi gets another win, and he does a nice pirouette to do it.
Nice.
Good. Talking about the Abi spin move against Tobizaru. That's got nothing on what Shishi does on day 3.
Okay, nice. Looking forward to seeing that new dance move.
That was good. Aonishiki got his first win, so now both of the
good
have wins. Now Aonishiki, we'll see. I found it very interesting looking at our fantasy league, our Oyakata fantasy.
Fantasy Oyakata.
Our Oyakata fantasy.
Yes, indeed.
A lot of people picked Aonishiki as their lower division pick. I think he's been really, everyone's liked him in Juryo. They couldn't wait for him to get to the top division. And I think a lot of people just picked him hoping that he was going to come in and have one of those big breakout.
Sure. Yeah.
Like Onosato did.
Yes, exactly. But not so much.
He's a completely different wrestler. I looked at that choice and I thought, you guys are crazy.
Yeah. Can I also say Wakatakakage is kind of giving me the business?
Yeah, he's giving me the business too.
Aye.
He's given a lot. A lot of people chose him too. You and I both are among the people that chose him. But I think about half the people chose Aonishiki.
Wow. Yeah. No, I don't think I chose him.
That's not going to. If the first 3 days are anything to go on, it's not going to turn out well for a lot of people.
Yeah, maybe not something to bank on. Right.
What else we got here? Atami Fuji gets another win. Onokatsu gets another win. Uh, Hakuoho loses for Tamawashi. 40-year-old Tamawashi came out like 30-year-old Tamawashi and
Nice.
just hit uh, Hakuoho hard at the Tachi. It was like the Hoshoryu Abi match on day one. This Tamawashi Hakuoho. Tamawashi came up and just smacked him hard and drove him backwards, and he was out of the ring before you knew it.
I'm telling you, that man's keeping the dream alive for us old people.
That's right. Kimbosu gets a win against Shodai. Takaru Fuji takes a loss against Hiradomi. Hiradomi, who we'd seen last year in the middle of the year looking so good, and then looking kind of stale in January. He didn't look good on the first couple of days, but he came out and took charge against Takeru Fuji. So that's worth having a look at.
Yeah.
Uda and Takanosho. Uda makes a really nice arm tug move. It looks like he's in trouble, and he grabs Takanosho's arm. Takanosho usually beats Uda. Like he's got a strong dominance in there head to head. And Uda looked like he was going to lose again, and got a nice arm throw, and just I don't know. You know those matches where I got to get better at remembering the Kumarite, but where someone will be doing the Tsupari, and the opponent will just grab the arm as it's going forward and pull it even further forward.
Yeah.
That's what Uda did today, and it looked great.
Nice.
Ooh, come back here. Stop that. Don't start doing that again.
It's helping.
It's not helping in the least. Okay. Look here. So Kirishima wins again, beats Chiyoshima, and is really looking healthy. Right? He's not looking like he's making sneaky moves or backing off the Tachi. He's maybe not hitting as hard as he normally used to off the Tachi, but he's I don't see any hint that there's anything wrong with his hip, which either means that there isn't or that he's hiding it and it's going to explode in week 2.
Yeah, right.
Kobizaru loses again.
Bummer.
That's
He's
bad.
still my favorite. I still like him. Yeah.
Daisho and Wakataka Kage. I really thought Wakataka Kage was going to do it, but Daisho came in with a huge boom.
Yeah.
That's my whole note about this one is Daisho boom. he had a hit that was reminiscent of oh god, now I'm going to just blank on his name. Our former Ozeki who had the neck problems, Takakeisho. He had a hit that was Takakeisho level boom, and
yeah, I gotta watch that.
Yeah, that was despite the fact that you're rooting for Wakataka Kage, that's an impressive one. Let's see, Kotozakura lost to Abi, and I think it's really clear there's something still wrong with Kotozakura.
Bummer.
And his knee. He had advantage, but Abi just kept moving, and I don't know. I think what it is that eventually, as it was kept going, each time he moved out to the right and forced Kotozakura to move that knee that way, Abi got a little better position, and then wound up where he could just he could take control and win.
So I have a question for you. So when you look at Onosanto, let's just compare Onosanto with Abi. Both have won all their matches. Is there a chance that as they're kind of creating or kind of pitting people against one another that Onosanto will see more challenging stuff than Abi, or will that be, how I'm just thinking because Onosanto's newer, or I mean, I don't know, like it feels like he's up at the top, and shouldn't he be?
Well, I
I don't
mean, yeah. So I mean, as based on where they're ranked, their schedules are going to be very similar.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
Abi will get a slightly lower.
rank.
His lowest opponents will be lower than Onosato's lowest opponents.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. That was my gut, but I couldn't articulate why I
But
thought that.
I mean, Abi is Komusubi now at this tournament, so it's not going to be that low. And I tell you that the best thing for Abi is that he's starting so strong, because, like I always say, Komusubi's the toughest.
That's right. Yeah.
Right? He's doing Abi right now is doing what we kept hoping that Atami Fuji would do in those
Yeah.
positions.
That's right. Yeah.
He's getting the wins here early on. He's finding a way. He's coming out with a lot of energy and a lot of a good plan. Being Abi, I kind of expect him to throw it away in the middle of the tournament,
Yes. Yeah.
but he's starting strong. He's got that oomph that we wanted Atami Fuji to learn to have. And he may still, right? He's a super young kid. And then finally, Hoshoryu today. I don't. Did you see Hoshoryu's match today?
No, I did not. No.
Hoshoryu is fighting against Wakamoto Haru, and is they're kind of grappling and trying to get position on each other. And Hoshoryu's got a better position, but then manages to overreach and 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 winds up like it's clear he's turning, so his back is going to be up against Wakamoto Haru, and in slow motion, or if you're Hoshoryu, you got to be thinking, oh my god, this is a worse position to be in. But they're right by the edge of the dohyo, and uh, and in fact, Wakamoto Haru his feet are right at the edge, and Hoshoryu kind of does a flex and a push with his shoulders, and he pushes him out with his back.
I gotta watch this.
While he's doing it, like he doesn't do it. Uh, I think he was doing that to try and get a little room, because he immediately spins like he doesn't think he's winning that way. He's trying to buy a second to turn around.
Oh, he's
He
not
spins
okay.
and turns around and sees that he won, and you can see as he's walking back at the end, he kind of does a little rueful head shake, like, "Whoa, how did that happen? Wow, did I get away with something there?" He's like, well, "I guess that's a win."
I have to watch. I'm looking forward to it.
So yes, so those are um our matches that have gone on. Those are days 1 to 3. Let's say
Nice.
this is our lineup for day 4. Hoshoryu will go against Gonoyama, Kotozakuru, Wakatakakage, Onosato, and Wakamoto Haru. Kirishima and Daisho. There's a big one. Abi gets Chiyoshoma. So there we go. Abi's beginning to get lower people. I mean, I think Onosato will probably get Chiyoshoma. Or, yeah, Chiyoshoma's ranked Mikey Sure 2. So, yeah, he should get him. But
I'm not. I'm gonna familiarize we never really talk about Gonoyama. I mean, as a
well, I
he's a
mean,
wrestler.
Gonoyama is kind of like you were talking about Shonan Naomi.
Yeah.
Very similar styles, although Shonan Naomi is a much bigger guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gonoyama's shorter, rounded. He's more of a fire plug guy, but very similar. And he's had the same thing as Shonan Naomi. He went up. In fact, he did it kind of ahead of him. He came up, he did great, and then stalled and dropped back down for a while. And he's gathering himself back up and earned his way back up again. So, I mean, you were saying being worried about Shonan Naomi. If he follows the same trail, he'll be bouncing back up the same way.
Yeah.
And the question is whether Gonoyama will stick up here or will continue to bounce back and forth between about mid Magashira and maybe Komusubi over and over again.
Now, listen, I know we don't like to take advantage of our influence. We like to respect the Rikishi, and we don't usually do this, but come on, Atama Fuji, you got to beat Chodai tomorrow or today, or yesterday, whatever day it's happening. But I mean, like that can't.
Yeah,
that
that's going to happen in a few hours.
You'll bring great shame on our house.
Atami Fuji got to beat Chodai. You got to beat Chodai.
Yeah, you just gotta.
Tobizaru and Takayasu, that's going to be an interesting match. Always is. I think Tobizaru, I'm not sure. Let's see if I pull this up here. Come on.
What their history was.
Thinking about it. Oh, they've only fought once recently? All right. I thought they'd fought more.
Oh, they really. We couldn't see that. What was on your screen? Not that I wouldn't try again, but it just showed a black.
Oh well,
it's staring into the void.
Well, never mind. I won't do that again. Kin Bozan and Ichi Yamamoto. Ichi Yamamoto is the guy that JJ Doomfachi was saying that he likes so much.
Yeah, he did some kind of a deep dive on him. Yeah.
I watched that video that he did. It was a very interesting deep dive he did.
Nice. I like those guys a lot. And we are in talks, negotiations, if you will. We're working on the writer and all of the what color M&Ms that Stan requires in his dressing room and the whole thing. But you'll make an appearance over there on that program.
My dressing room will be the desk I'm sitting at right now. I bet I have a lot of control over that.
That's right. And you will only have yourself to blame if you have no green M&Ms.
Right? Yes. So I may be making an appearance on their show later in the week.
Nice.
So this is what our matches look like today. A lot of interesting stuff going on.
Yeah.
All right. So what I'm going to do now? What am I going to do now?
What are you going to do?
I think you maybe want to switch us to a purple background because I'm going to switch over.
Hello.
Oop. That's not what I wanted to do.
Yeah, I think you'll share and I can make the change.
There we go.
There
we go. We have ourselves it's big and empty now, but this is going to be full of information about our 18 competitors.
That's right. Friends, if you haven't watched the unveiling of this information, you will see that Stan has a very special talent to drive me up a wall. By the end of this, I will be a mess. I will be jittery. I will be, nauseous. I will be all those things. But this is the time. Yeah, you
love it. You love it.
It's like crack. I mean, I don't know. I've never done crack, but I'm presuming that it has the same impact as. And Stan, how many times have you won?
What?
How many times have you won?
I have won. Well, it's down there on the side there. Down, if I scroll down, we've got our record of champions. I have won 3 times and finished second twice.
See, that's a pretty strong showing. Now, I, on the other hand, have won
once and finished second once.
Yeah. And what's curious about this time, just so everyone can kind of follow our journey and why it's so interesting, is that Stan and I, this time around, made very similar picks. Which is interesting.
We will reveal that right here. We're gonna show what's going on and show what everyone's picks are.
Here we are.
All right. So best possible, you could have a 15-0 record if you picked Onosato and Abi. I'll tell you right now, no one picked Abi.
Abi was not in the equation. Yeah.
Takayasu, Endo. I don't think anyone picked Endo.
And did anyone? Yeah.
And Onokatsu or Asakodyu. Asakodyu out of nowhere, 3-0.
And that's not a pick, if I recall, that anybody.
No. So, but here's the weird thing: we're only on day 3. Usually on day 3, there are about 10 or 12 people who are still undefeated at the end of day 3.
Yeah.
We only have uh, uh, five people. Yeah,
Interesting.
right.
Yeah, so day 1 doesn't
Onosato, Abi, Takayasu, Endo, and Onokatsu and Asakoryu are the only people who are still undefeated.
Interesting. Well, I mean, interesting. Onosanto isn't a surprise, honestly.
Yeah.
Abi was not on the list, and the rest I didn't pick or
Well, but
wouldn't.
it's relatively easy to win your first 3. Like, there's a lot of people who are never going to do great who can go 3-0, which is why it takes a little while for it to shake out. It's a little strange that we get to the end of day 3 and there's only 5 undefeated Rikishi left.
Including day 3, I mean, I have not having watched it all, but Ono Santos seems to be waiting for someone to challenge him. He doesn't seem to be really sweating a lot. Like he's
well, and but in theory, that's what the first 3 days should be for the Ozeki and the Yokozuna.
Yeah.
They should be starting out just beating
child's
people.
play, right.
Like I said, whenever we talk about the beginning of any tournament, we want this show to say all 3 of our, the Ozeki and Yokozuna are still undefeated. Of course they are.
They ought
and we
to
almost
be.
never get to say that.
That's true. Yeah, I can't remember actually when.
I was afraid that we were going to have, all of them were going to have at least 1 loss, and they were all going to be 2-1. Wow.
Yeah, it's something right now, isn't it? It's a different. Yeah, it's a different Basho. There's.
Yeah. Yep. All right. So I tell you what we got right here. So 15 is the best you could possibly do. In the currently at the bottom of our rung, I don't want to make anyone feel bad about this.
Yeah.
Especially not you.
Leave it to me.
Is Ogawa Michi Barry? It's one of our new. There's a lot of new people here.
Welcome. What does Ogawa Michi mean?
I don't know.
It's probably something foul. Thank you, Barry.
And he picked Hoshoryu and Kirishima.
Okay.
2-1, and Wakatakakage, one of the great many people who picked Wakatakakage.
I feel your pain there. A Shodai pick.
He picked Shodai. And
wow.
He's one of our many Aonishikis.
Got you.
And Onosato and Hoshoryu.
Okay, all right. I see you there.
All right.
But Shodai, that's a bold move, Barry. A bold move.
Next, I think maybe I'll release all these guys that are. Next, we got 3 people tied.
Oh.
So he had 6 points total.
Okay.
Next, we got 3 people tied with 7 points. They are Physique
Buliba,
Ace Shoryu, and Kakaryu.
All of
whom picked Hoshoryu.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Reasonable.
Two Ohos, which is a bad choice. Oho's not doing especially and I'm not saying a dumb choice. Like Oho is not doing well. Like he did so well last tournament, and he earned this big promotion. And he's not doing terribly, but he's not looking super sharp out of the gate. And Daisho, Kakaryu took Daisho. Wakamoto Haru, Kinbozan, and Wakatakakage. There's where we'll see our split. See both Wakamoto Haru and Wakatakakage are 0-3.
Yeah, the Wakas are.
The Wakas are not off to an auspicious beginning.
No, they are not.
Kinbozan is neither. There's 1 win between the 3 of them.
Ouch.
Then we got 3 Takeru Fujis.
Okay, not bad. I mean,
Yeah. And a lot of people chose Takeru Fuji. And another 2 Aonishikis and a Midori Fuji.
Very interesting.
And we see on the other side, they all 3 picked Hoshoryu, and then an Onosato, an Oho, and a Kotozakura.
Yeah, Oho, okay.
So, yeah, well, you also picked Oho here in the Sanyaku level. So,
Yeah.
That's not doing great for him.
Got you. Now here's a question.
Yeah.
ZHI, is that she? Is that pronounced like she, or is it pronounced like Z?
I think
I'm
it's,
trying to think of
well,
is it physique or physique?
I'm just going to say physique, but
That
I
works
don't.
too.
Yeah.
That's a very, very fancy
This
shikona.
ZH is, I mean, I look at that and it's not, uh, um, that's, some of these things are, you can look at and say, well, that's kind of faux Japanese. ZHI is not a Japanese sound. That's a Chinese sound.
Yeah, I was going to
I'm
say
not
that's
sure what it is.
yeah.
I've heard it pronounced a lot of different ways.
But I like the shikona name. That's great. I mean,
Yeah.
it's sort of a physique. It sounds like something you might get prescribed to you to clear up a boil or something.
That's, yeah. Wow, you really know how to make sing. All right, so we've got 6 people tied with 8 points. Coming up next. 8 points. 8 points. So in 8 points we have Troy Hewitt.
Oh, nice.
And
Oh boy, doyo.
Opoyo Doyo. Masutarida and Riki
Wow,
Shiriki.
we got some good names. Riki.
Riki Shiriki. Riki.
Riki. Yeah, there
Riki
you go.
Riki. Baseball
Baseball
Berry,
Berry back
who
again.
we're familiar with. Turtle, who's a new one. And
Sumo Turtle.
It's Your Boy Troy, is who I thought was you when he submitted his thing, until I saw who he picked. And I said, that's for sure not Troy.
I like you know my signature.
Haijura. All right, so here we go. We got Hoshoryu's on the side. We got an Osato sandwich, a tall Osato sandwich there in the champion level.
I do not want to eat that sandwich.
You don't want to be the bread.
Bad cookie.
We got 3 Daishos, 2
Okay.
Ohos, and a Kirishima.
Nice.
In the Sanyaku level. We've got a couple of Wakatakakages, a couple of Kimbozons,
Okay.
Takanosho, first Takanosho,
Wow.
and a Tobizaru.
Okay, nice pick. It's sort of like when you get a toothbrush at Halloween.
And then in the middle Maegashira, we've got Takeru Fuji, Atami Fuji, Takeru Fuji, Hakuoho, Takeru Fuji, Atami Fuji.
Yeah, Tomo Fuji. Come on, buddy.
And they're all 2 in 1.
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
Endo. Yeah, Endo is the only one in that section of the Banzuke who is 3-0.
Yeah, unexpected. Clearly.
Takayasu and Endo here, the upper and middle Maegashira surprises.
Very interesting. I'm just wondering how you squeezed your way out of this group.
And in the lower Maegashira, we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4 Aonishikis, 4 more Aonishikis, another Midori Fuji, and a Shishi.
Yeah, I feel good about my Midori Fuji pick.
Yeah. I hope he brings you much glory.
I do too.
And then here we go. So, Baseball Berry picked Aonishiki to win the whole thing.
Wow. Okay. I mean, solidarity with the Ukrainian folks, but yeah.
And we got for finishing second, we got Takeru Fuji, Hoshoryu, Kirishima. These are some interesting picks for second. Kotsakura, Onosato, yeah.
I will say that Onosanto Hoshoryu juxtaposition when I look at it does make me a little nervous. Yeah, a little bit.
All right. So those are our people at 8.
Nice.
Now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. People with 9 points.
Okay, nice.
And they are.
Oh, hey, Marvelous. Nicely done.
Marvelous there. JJ's there.
Good.
Some other new people.
Yeah.
Kushana. Salty Path. He wants to be known as Salty Throw, and his Shikona is Salty Path.
Hey, I like that. That's a good one. Salty Throw. That's fun.
Yeah. So here we go. Here we've got more Onosato Hoshoryu. Onosato.
Yeah.
We've got 3 Daishos, 2 Kirishimas, and an Oho. No Abis. No one picked Abi. Wakataka Kage, another couple of Wakataka Kages.
Yeah.
So sad. A couple of Kimbozans,
Sure.
a Gonoyama, and another Takayasu. And
Nice pick.
Kakaeda Uchu Chase picked Tamawashi in the middle.
Kakaeda Uchu.
We got Tamawashi, and then a bunch of Takeda Fujis, and then a Tommy Fuji.
Yeah. It's so funny to see that little Shodai there.
What's the Shodai doing down there?
What's the
you notice where he is, though. Like everyone else. Also, look, everyone else is 2-1. Since I tell you, no one picked Endo.
So I say
everyone else is 2-1 except Shodai.
You know, I think what we ought to do at the end of this is that the Troys and the Berries need to have a sumo match.
Troy versus Barry?
Well, actually, we could do that too. We could do like the Troys versus the Berries. I like that.
And then here we got another couple of Aonishikis, a couple of Takata Fujis.
Okay.
A Meisei and another Shishi. And what do we got here? More Onosato's Takeru Fuji. JJ picked Takeru Fuji to win the whole thing.
Okay. Interesting.
And then coming up, we have 2 people tied with 10. And one of them is me.
It's you.
I am. It's me and Q.
Yeah. Q. Okay. A new one. That's a new. Wow. Yeah. A new competitor meeting you toe to toe.
Yeah. So we got Hoshoryu and Onosato. Both of us picked Daisho. Kinbozan and Wakataka Kage. Wakataka Kage. Come on, man. Got Tommy Fuji and Takeru Fuji. And both of us picked Onokatsu.
Wow. Okay. That's what happened.
And then we both picked Hoshoryu and Onosato. So our differences right now, Q and I, our differences are in the Atami Fuji, Takeru Fuji.
Yeah.
Who's going to do better there?
Oh gosh, who do you think it's going to be?
Wakataka Kage.
I mean, do you really feel? I mean, it's hard to say because Atami Fuji is,
It's hard to say. Like I say, it's also we're on day 3, but I feel pretty confident about that middle Maegashira. I think Takeru Fuji is going to wind up with a better score than Atami Fuji. If Wakataka Kage doesn't turn it around, I'm not feeling it on paper. If you'd asked me, if you just showed me this on Sunday, which I did, but when I put this all together and I looked at it, I thought, oh, Wakataka Kage will do better than Kinbozan. I don't know that it'll be great, but it'll do better. But
yeah, cakewalk.
So far.
Nope.
We both did Daisho, and then it's our horse race here in the top division. So that's where things stand right now. Our best score, our best possible score is 15, and our best scores are 10.
Well, I feel good about where I'm at. And again, we're just starting out. So, there's still a chance for Waka to wake up.
It's good. Time for Waka to wake up.
Yeah, seriously. Come on, buddy. You can do it.
Yeah, so let's say we got a nice little spread. You're only 2 points off the lead.
Yeah.
And we got everyone's in it. Everyone's in it. Like our worst case scenario at Ogawa Michi is only 4 points off the lead to begin with. So
not bad. Good showing by everybody.
And some very interesting choices. So I think Ogawa Michi is going to get sunk by Shodai. And everyone that picked Aonishiki, I'm sorry, you know what I'm going to do? I think everyone that picked Aonishiki is just going to be disappointed down by that.
Yeah, I'm wondering.
he may get his Kachikoshi. I'm not saying he won't, but
Right.
he's
Yeah.
not going to do great.
I'm asking our friends, what brought you to that decision? Like, I wonder if there's like a thread where they all watched, the Aonishiki, special or something, or,
Well, I mean, if they were watching him last time in Jurio, he was eating
yeah,
up. He and Shishi were both just doing great, and he's been doing terrific in his drive up the Bansuke. But he hasn't been he for me. He never showed he's going to get to the top division and show
yeah,
how
yeah.
well. I never saw that, but a lot of people did. Clearly,
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so I'm asking, yeah, so JJ and Kushana and who else we got here? Sumo Turtle, Baseball Berry. Is that Mankyu? Rikishi Riki. Um, and Masuturida, and that's it.
we got. I think about half of the field picked Aonishiki.
Oftentimes we like to kind of get into, to hear what your thoughts are. Maybe, and clearly if you stand in opposition to anything, any bombastic thing that Stan says, you're going to want to head over to Facebook and,
Come to
and check
Facebook.
it out.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Or leave a message on this video.
Yeah.
Leave a comment.
You can comment directly on here. And you know what? I if I were you, I would say, Stan, I take issue. And
I take umbrage, sir.
I take umbrage, sir. You have offended me and my Shodai. Bring it, I say. And you'll find us on Facebook by looking for the Sumo Show. And if you've not, I don't know how else you might be over on Twitch. Because where are we on? We're on Twitch and
We're on
YouTube.
Twitch. We're on Facebook, Twitch,
YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube. YouTube's a big one. And I think we're also on my LinkedIn channel.
I'm not. Yeah, I didn't broadcast this on
Okay,
LinkedIn,
well,
but
no,
that would
we're
be
not.
funny. I would like that. That would be hilarious. It would give LinkedIn a purpose.
Yeah. Well, I do all my others over to LinkedIn. So
Okay, well maybe we'll do that. We'll show another facet, but make sure that you are liking and following and doing all that good stuff and share it with your friends.
thumbs up.
You got a sumo pal you like to hang out with and say, hey, watch this program. You'll enjoy it.
So I've made a graphic, or I've done a screen capture of just the scores section, not the whole wide thing, but just this basic win-loss total area and the names. So I will post that to the Facebook group tomorrow.
Yeah,
or maybe tonight after I finish, I'll put that up.
Nice.
So perfect. People will be able to go there, even if they're not watching. People will be able to show up, and after each of our live shows, I won't post that. People have asked me how they can track how they're doing. The Fantasy Oyakata, and the answer I gave, and I guess it's probably good to give it here too, is I'm not going to post daily updates. I'm going to keep the reveal for how things are going. I like this reveal. It's a fun thing. So each episode we will do this, but I will then afterwards post a graphic showing what those results are. So
you know what else we could do too? We could also link them to the timestamp where they could watch it too, in that same post.
We could do that too.
Yeah, let's do both. Why not?
So yes,
you
can, of course, keep track of how many points you have. That'll make watching the reveal. I know I've got 14 points.
Oh yeah, I guess it sort of cracks the code on that. I never really thought about that.
Right, and then when I start revealing numbers, you're like, oh my god, last place is 13. 14 is going to be terrible.
Well, yeah.
Or I've got, like, if I'd looked at mine and said 10 points with 15 being the best, I would have thought I'm going to be like in third place. There's going to be someone that got, maybe no one got 15 because it's a very small select group. You have to be very specific to get those, but someone's getting 12 or 13 points out of this. But
no. I gotta tell you, I'm happy with 8. Middling is sort of my signature move, so I'm feeling good about that.
Middling is your middle name.
That's right, it is.
Troy Middling Hewitt.
But hey, I mean, I am no physique, but I might be able to find my way back. We'll see. Awesome. Good
All
stuff.
right.
Well,
So
congratulations, everybody, and looking forward to the next
yes,
rundown,
yes.
which is Friday, yeah?
We will be back on Friday with another episode. Same sumo time, same sumo channel.
That's right. Same sumo mawashi that I've been wearing for a year now.
It's a little stinky.
I like to. It's good luck.
You may want to get a different color, or
Well, I just like to. I like to for each month.
you're supposed to hang them out afterwards to air
Oh, and it
out.
hangs out. It hangs around. But the other thing as well is that I'll
Well, I
have
don't mean
my.
hang out like on your couch. I mean put it up on the
Oh.
line outside.
Well, you know what? I reserve judgment. I beg until my sumo calendar comes out each month with a new alluring pose.
Oh my goodness!
Same washi,
Oh
different
my!
pose. Oh my! It'll be
Oh
upsetting. All right.
All right. So I'm going to come back here to just me.
Yeah.
Hi, it's me again.
Stan.
Yeah, so we will look at what's going on, and I will keep making daily updates on the Facebook group.
Yes.
I put my thoughts at the beginning, what happened the day before and what if there's anything I'm looking forward to for that day, and then links to the video that I watch. Yeah, you know what? Because Kintamiyama's videos don't stay up long, and because NHK has been putting up complete
they have been. Okay.
Yeah, but they put it up a day late. So I'm adding that afterwards.
Right. Yeah, a little retcon.
I'm adding it in there so that even if you come to it late, you should still be able to find a video where you can go and watch that day's action.
Nice. Well, I'm going to do some catching up there for sure. And we hope to see you friends there as well. And don't forget, you're watching, give us a like.
Thumbs up.
Give us a follow.
Heart. Give us a heart.
Yeah, give us the hearts. Give us whatever it is they're trying to give you to, give it to us. It helps us feed the algorithm.
Yes, it helps. You know what I do on my other shows? I make a point of saying what it really. It sounds like we want you tell us you love us, and we like hearing that.
I do, yeah, for sure.
But what it really does is help the algorithm, the whatever for that site, recommend us. The more we get that, it means it shows the show to more people, and that gets more people to come and hang out and have fun with us. And
we've got return. Yeah, we've got return folks who've been watching, our things on demand, and we love it, and we love you for it. But just make sure you give us that you're following us, and that you're, that's important stuff. But we appreciate it, and we appreciate you. Dubs in the chat. Yeah. Sure. All right. Should we? Shall I?
Word to your Oyakata.
Word to your Oyakata, indeed.
All right, you're gonna drag those drums out.
I'm gonna do it right now.
You have been listening to The Sumo Show, a live podcast about the art and sport of sumo. Your hosts tonight have been Stan Brown and Troy Hewitt. Production by Troy Hewitt. Sumoliering by Stan Brown. And initial charge by Touchy Eye Troy.
Hi.
So until Friday evening at 7 p.m., we say to you, Ja matane.
Bye.